Welcome back to North Coast Garage. On this episode, Trans Am is back. I got it covered right now, but we're going to change. We are going to put a new mechanical fuel pump on because the one that's on there doesn't work anymore, and the electric pump that's on there is it works, but it's not. The way I have it installed, it's not happy, and it doesn't like the heat, and I get a lot of vapor lock issues with it because it's pulling fuel. It's supposed to push it, but it's pulling fuel, and it's sitting right on top of the engine, and I don't really want to have to, do it underneath. I'm just going to put a mechanical pump back on for now. So, all right. Look at that beautiful car, eh? All right, so I think the mechanical fuel pump on these, yeah, it's on the driver's side, underneath there, and I think I might actually try to fix the power steering leak in this thing this year. I can see it; that's actually wet right there. Yeah. So I'll get this up on jack stands, and then I've never changed a mechanical fuel pump before, so I'm kind of doing this for the first time. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. I have no idea what I'm doing. All right, guys. Well, I just found something underneath the car when I was putting the jack stands under. I found, while I was trying to put the jack stands under, that the oil pressure sender is actually probably fine because it's disconnected. It must have just vibrated loose over the years. That's the wiring for it right there. I just got to figure out how to, put it back on. Also, this thing leaks oil, so that's fun. Yeah. I'm going to do the fuel pump first, I think, before I start trying to figure out if I can get a good. I don't know if I can. There you go. The pressure sender is up there, so it's got to go back onto there somehow. That somehow goes back onto there, so it's got like a rubber thing. It looks like there's a nut in there. I'll figure that out after. I gotta do the fuel pump first. I gotta go up. There's the mechanical fuel pump right there. I'm gonna have to figure this out, because right now I have the lines bypassing it, so the electric pump can work. So I'm gonna crawl under there further. Hold on. Okay, what have we got? Obviously, that's the line that's sucking from the tank. That's, I think. No? Maybe not. One of these lines is sucking from the tank. That small line there, I think that's like a return. We got a fuel filter here. So that line is coming. Yes. So this line here that the fuel filter's on is coming from the tank. Okay, because it used to connect to here. So what I did was I disconnected it from there, put the fuel filter on line, and then the line that goes up to the top goes to the pump. I gotta wrap my brain around this. Hold on. Oh, and look at the power steering. That's a pretty decent leak. Look at how soaked it is down here. This has been leaking since I bought this thing. So, all right, let me figure this out down here. Okay, I think there's 2 bolts that hold the fuel pump on. I gotta take all these lines off, and it's gonna get gasoline all over the driveway probably. And I just sealed this driveway, so that's gonna be bad. So I gotta figure something else out to stop that from happening. There it is. The line is off. I got the fuel filter off. I think I might go to Napa and get another filter. That one's 15 years old. So now I just got to take the return line off, and then I can somehow get up to the bolts on there. I should take that off too. And yeah, this is not fun at all. Alright, there's the old pump off. The line is really, really tight, so I'm not even sure if I'm going to be able to use that, because it's, I don't know, I just got to scrape off the, where it meets the mating surface there, and we'll see what's next here. Alright, it's the next day. I actually had to get the propane torch out to get this fitting out of the old fuel pump, because the new fuel pump's on the car. I couldn't connect the line without this. So, you know, hot flames, and some Go Loose juice, you know, and I soaked it in overnight in Go Loose juice, and then I heated the hell out of it with the propane torch. And then I put it in the vise, and finally I got this to come out. And I only burnt my finger once, so not too bad. Alright, just tightening up the line under here. Gotta put that bracket down. Looks like I got a bit of grease in there, so I gotta get the brake clean out and clean that out. Probably from all this crap on the power steering here. I gotta fix that too somehow. But if I was gonna look at the line up, it's all wet, the pump. So I don't know. Another day maybe I'll fix that. Yeah, so I gotta get some brake clean out the grease on there, finish tightening that, put the clamp on, and then I can move up to the top part and fix that up there. Okay, just tightening this up here. And I'm using my adjustable hammer because as it turns out, I don't work on a lot of old cars because I don't have a lot of SAE tools, and I have some SAE wrenches, but I was missing I think it's 5/8 or something like that for this nut. But anyways, the adjustable hammer will work fine. I'm going to be going to Princess Auto for the grand opening. The new store that they're having a grand opening, and I'm going to probably go and get some SAE tools. I do not have very limited SAE tools, because when I was working in the body shop, I would never need SAE tools because modern cars do not have anything SAE. So anyways, yeah, so I'll just get this buttoned up here, put that line back on. It goes from the tank. There we go. Move that clamp over, and then we'll see if this will fire up. So here is the electric fuel pump that I put on. My grandfather actually taught my dad this way long, more than 30 years ago. And I don't think the clothes peg on a rubber line works. I think it has to be on a metal line. I don't know. Anyways, I had put this heat shield for a starter, wrapped it around here. But yeah, that didn't work. This was getting way too hot, and it was vapor locking, and I don't know, it might need a return too, so it might be, you know, when you're sitting in traffic and you're not flowing fuel that much, it doesn't like it at all. So I'm gonna have to undo this here and here and get a fuel filter, or I can see if it'll pump through that and leave this on the car just in case that other pump dies. So I can try to do that first. Maybe I'll do that. But then I won't have a fuel filter because this is where the fuel filter was, and I just put this pump in line. So if you don't know why I had put a electric pump on this, it was 2022, so this thing sat from 2013, and then I put it back on the road in 2022 for the first time. So it was like 9 years it sat, and I was driving it around a little that summer, 2022, and right near the end of the season, I think it was like early September 2022, I was, I don't know, half an hour away from home on a country road with nothing but farmers fields around, and it wasn't getting any fuel, so the mechanical fuel pump just died, and I was stuck on the side of the road. Luckily, Good Samaritan, stopped by, and they, they helped me put an electric fuel pump in on the side of the highway, well, country road anyway, not highway, but yeah. So that's the story on that, and it was meant to be temporary. Like, look where it is. It's supposed to be pushing fuel. This way it's sucking fuel, right? So it's not even in the right spot. It's supposed to be underneath the car, and it's sitting right on top of the engine getting super hot. And there's no return line or pressure regulator or anything. So it's probably all wrong. But I've been driving it for like, what, 2 years now? 2 years now. 2023 and 2024 with that on there. So yeah, let's just see if it'll start up now. If mechanical fuel pump will push fuel through the electric pump. I might prime the system with the electric pump, and then I'll shut it off, and then we'll crank it and see if it stays running after. Is that mechanical fuel pump working? I think it might be. I'm just going to check underneath for leaks. No leaks. Mechanical fuel pump works. So it's pumping through the electric fuel pump, so that means I can keep that on there. And if that crappy Rock Auto mechanical fuel pump dies again, I'll have a backup electric fuel pump already in line there. I'll just have to slice in a new fuel filter eventually. So I'm gonna take this thing for a drive, and it was leaking a bit of oil, if you saw, and the oil that's in it It's not that old. I only drove it, what, maybe 1,000 miles, if that, last summer. Probably not even that. Probably maybe 500 miles I drove it last summer, right? So I'm going to put in the ZDDP additive with the stop leak. High mileage. It's not even high mileage. This motor probably has less than 15,000 miles on it since it was rebuilt. But somehow it's leaking oil. So I'm not going to bother changing the oil because it's not that old. I'm just going to add this. It's got the stop leak in it and ZDDP. So perfect. You can use the master cylinder to hold the can because that stuff's pretty thick. I'll have to move the G8 out of the way before I take this out. Gotta paint these inner fenders still too. I wasn't sure if I was going to paint them black, so the whole engine bay is black, or if I was going to paint them orange. But we'll see. Still haven't decided. Still draining. While that's draining, I'm just going to go move the G8 so I can back this out. Alright, so let's just take this for a quick drive. I still got a laundry list of stuff that this thing needs. I got to reconnect the fuel pressure sender. It's come undone somehow. The rear end is still making that bearing noise or something. I got to check that. But tomorrow we're planning on going to the Unfinished Nationals car show swap meet. It's about, I don't know, an hour and 10 minutes away. So luckily it's not going to be crazy hot. But yeah. And I'm trying out this new feature that I found on my phone where it can record from the front camera and the back camera at the same time. So that's pretty cool. I wish I knew that last year. Brakes still don't feel the greatest in this. So, and it's actually fairly cold this morning. It was only like 9 or 8 degrees Celsius. So, and it's May 29th. Today is May 29th and it's that cold. But I gotta enjoy it because pretty soon it's gonna be ridiculously hot and I'm not gonna want to be outside. Us fat guys do not like the heat. So far, so good. Mechanical fuel pump seems to be working. I was a little worried changing it because I've never changed a mechanical fuel pump before. And it's very hard to find a good video on YouTube on how to change one on a Pontiac V8. On a Chevy small block, there's a little push rod. And on the Pontiac V8, it's there's no push rod. It just is a little arm, and it goes on the. It hits the camshaft as it goes over. It bumps that arm. So that's how that works on a Pontiac. So there's lots of videos on the small block Chevy how to change one of those. Not very. I think I maybe found 1 or 2 videos on a Pontiac one, and it wasn't the greatest video. So. Like, you couldn't really see what they were doing. But I kind of just winged it and it seems to be working, so. hopefully that stops my fuel problem when it gets hot. I also should probably check the transmission fluid in this. I haven't checked that in, 14 years or 15 years. Definitely need to check that. I don't know if you can hear it on the camera. I don't know if it's picking it up or not, but you can definitely hear the whining. It's not like a growling, like it's just a very light whine, humming noise coming from the back end. So I don't know what I'm going to do with that yet. Probably check the preload on the pinion, because apparently they can come loose. Preload can come loose, and that could be the cause of my noise too. We're just gonna go around the block here and come back to town, come back to the house. Today too. Pushing the car. Well, it did all right on the test drive. Runs all right. Still hear that exhaust leak on the one header on the passenger side here. I got something to fix that. Just some JB Weld makes like an exhaust sealer for like cracks and seams and stuff. I'm gonna try to use that. Do it for this episode. We're gonna go to the Unfinished Nationals tomorrow, hopefully, and I think that'll be a separate video we'll do. Maybe, I don't know yet. Yeah, she seems to be running good, so yeah. Well, thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you again later.